Patterson. We are at the 13th annual St. Louis Prototype Modelers Meet. I'm doing an outdoor photo shoot. We're going to talk about this table saw. That's absolutely magnificent. This is the best hobby in the world.
What's neat?
What's neat?
What's neat?
What's neat starts now.
Catch the What's Neat podcast every week and full episodes of What's Neat every month at the Model Railroad Hobbyist YouTube page.
Hi, I'm George Zelios from Fine Scale Miniatures, and you are watching What's Neat This Week with Ken Patterson.
Ready, set, go. We got Richard on camera tonight. The lights are bright tonight. What is that?
Because it's Saturday night.
Saturday night lights.
You got that camera rolling?
That camera's already rolling. Has been rolling for a week.
That's okay.
That's what the red light is, right?
Hey, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Hello.
I know, Richard.
Doing good.
Here's a countdown. Let's have some fun here.
All right, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week in Model Railroading Show is made possible by viewers like you and is proudly supported by Model Railroader Magazine, helping enthusiasts become better modelers for more than 90 years. To learn more, visit trains.com. Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com. Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. KR Models, we dare to build. Check out their website at krmodels.net. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week in Model Railroading Show. Show number 289 for September 21st, 2024. I'm your host, Ken Patterson. That's the guy that's looking for his microphone.
Sorry, Scotty.
I know, I just had everybody do a sound check.
Everybody did the sound check. Everybody sounded good, and then he didn't even put his on.
We don't even need to roll bloopers on this show. We've already got them. I know, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the Model Railroad Show that you guys all come to that love to watch, and we have special guests tonight and a lot of really cool stuff to talk about tonight. All right, sitting off to my side like I always start out, here's Mike Buddy. Hey, Mike.
Hi, everybody.
I am, of course, Ken Patterson, the guy looking for his microphone. Next to me is my favorite. You guys said on the Lionel Strang Show, I call everybody my favorite.
Yeah, well.
Joshua Barton.
What's up,
Your
everybody?
favorite Josh.
That's right.
I'm your favorite Mike.
Yeah, that's very true.
Except for Mike Kelly.
Sitting right next to Joshua Barton, I've got Thomas Garza.
Yes. How you doing?
And his lovely wife, Denise Garza. Hey, Denise.
Also known as the sign guy.
The
He's
sign
the
guy.
Sign guy.
Yeah, I'm losing my name and becoming the sign guy.
Sign guy.
That's good. This is a really great situation because we met you at the RPM meet. And as soon as I walked into that show, people were saying, you got to go over and see the sign guy. This guy, there's some guy over there selling signs, man. You got to go see him. Look at the stuff he's got. And I did get over there eventually, and it was impressive.
Daniel got over there first
Yes.
and did a whole interview that you can see on Model Railroad Hobbyist.
Yes. So here you are in the flesh. It's a real treat to have you tonight.
Oh, I'm honored to be here. Like I said, when we were doing the RPM show and we came over here after the show, that I've been watching you for a long time when you were doing your dioramas out there in the backyard with your auto racks.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I don't know how many views you got on that one, I keep going there every once in a while just to see those auto racks because they're beautiful. I grew up in Lansing, Michigan. General Motors is huge there. Auto racks were everywhere back in the 80s. We were down there. Grand Trunk Ray were running things. So that's where I ended up, starting to love trains. I mean, I would go down to the tracks when I was young. My dad would find out, give me a spanking, stay away from the tracks. I didn't care. Went back to the tracks. Yeah.
You've got a lot of neat stuff that they were talking about at the show here on the table tonight. And Richard, you're going to have to move around a little bit on this. Your stuff, quite honestly, is very realistic looking. And it's not by accident.
No, it's not by accident. When I originally started this company, actually, John Dietzen, that's over there behind the camera.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
John and Kenny Cook, they became my friends, and Kenny Cook had a layout. And on that layout, you always, when you have your layout, you have sections that you're working on, and sections you're like, hey, this is where I want to work on the detail, at least kind of make it look good. You're getting your way through it. And so one day I was there, and I'm like, okay, Dietzen's got a good section here done. And I'm like, what's missing? It looks really cool. And I said, it's signs. It needs to be some signs. So I went head deep into signs. I ended up becoming the sign master of what's going on with signs. And I happen to work for Electronic Prepress Output Bureau that has the material that these signs are made out of. The signs are made out of a material that's shiny on the front like the real ones. But because it's thick and it's a photographic material, I was able to spray paint the back of it to simulate the aluminum. But also it's thin. So then you can get that realistic thickness and not the big thickness you get from the pressed plastic that some other manufacturers use to make signs. This is just a sign of the times. Technology is starting to catch up, but you got to use that technology. But also, instead of just making stop signs and general warning signs with deers and making them yellow and printing them on paper, there was more to it. There's bolts on the front of the signs. And that came into part of what I was doing. The backs of the signs being silver, so you can simulate the aluminum. And instead of using a round piece of wire or a toothpick, which was what they were using back then, and in some places now, I use a 3mm T-shaped pole. Wow. So then that way, when the light hits it, you can get that little shadow on the back of that T, and that comes into where I did put more thinking into these signs. I'm trying to tell your brain you're looking at something real. When some people cut those other signs that were with paper, they would just cut it out square and then put their pole on the back. But the real world, the corners are missing. They're rounded, so nobody gets scratched or cut on those.
Right.
Well, your brain subconsciously, when you're driving down the road, it sees that sign and it takes it for granted because you already used it from day one when you're a kid to an adult. But when you do it on a model railroad and you don't cut that little point, then your brain sees it and automatically goes, there's something wrong. Well, you don't want that when you want to try to make something real. So when I design these signs and when I make them, I cut the little corners off of these so then that way that 90%, that little 90-degree corner is gone.
And you can tell that. I mean, just by looking
at it.
Yeah,
when you look at it, your brain already goes like, oh, this is not, there's nothing wrong. So then all of a sudden you lose that sense of something's wrong and realism comes in. You got the lights here, it shines. So you're going to see some of the glare like you do. So the bolts, when a lot of other manufacturers don't have bolts on the front, but they're there. And so when you see those, when your brain sees it, it automatically is going to go to realism. So more detail and thought were put into these signs that I've created, which I have 1,400 different packs. I'm pretty much got 90% of every sign that's out there.
Wow.
And but coming down here to St. Louis, I seen some more and took some pictures, and those are going to end up being in the catalog.
Okay, now hold on. Let's hear. Your O-scale signs, the posts are exactly the right shape as what we know some of the road signs are because they're rolled steel, right?
Yes.
And they got an angle to them so the wind won't blow them over, I guess, or they're not they're not going to bend. Okay.
Yeah.
Long story short, in HO scale, you have something in development, and that's the signs with the holes in it, just like in O scale, and it looks very good. I put on the OptiVisor and looked at it yesterday.
Yes. Crazy.
Yes. That's it. This is a sign guy.
Yeah.
And this is why he's the sign guy.
Wow.
This is
Amazing.
why. This is prototypically accurate. It's that one detail that I overlook. I do. Do you see
everybody
any signs on
overlooks
it?
it.
Mike, buddy, you're the first one that showed up at the Midwest Valley Modelers layout. God love you. And you put the sign under the bridge for clearance. I
Right.
remember that on a module. I'm probably scanning photographs from 30 years ago.
I did all the highway signs too.
Uh-huh, you
Just
did
like
that, you did that, you
But
did
I
that.
did it on a copy machine because we didn't have the technology, you know. So,
Yes.
but I have the same eye as you, especially when driving. I notice everything along the side of the road, and signs have always been a weak point on layouts. But man, these are killer.
It's the detail you always needed that you didn't know you needed.
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's a tagline. That's probably good used. Okay.
So I have a question for you. Do you do custom work? Can I call up and I want Highway 110 because that's what I model?
So all the artwork that is an entire website is all built in layers. That makes it so that actually I do custom car work. And custom artwork is easy because of the way I designed the sign. I literally spent all of 2018, after I retired out of the Army, I spent all 2018 summer in my basement, missed the beautiful weather, sitting there designing all these signs to be like Legos. So you got the interstate sign, but then you can have like the different shields. Here you have the California State Shield, and I have every state shield that's in the United States. But that shield's in the same spot. All I got to do is turn Californian off and turn Michigan, and then go click on the number and change it to the highway and change the name.
Wow.
And in about 20 minutes, I've designed the sign that this customer wants.
That is shiny.
So good.
That's
Yeah.
shiny.
Is
How did that
custom.
clip? How did
Is
how'd
that a
just clip
magnet?
on
Tell
there?
me that's a magnet.
No,
Oh,
working on
okay,
magnets are going
Yeah,
to
he
be
just
for the
pulled that.
railroad
Yeah.
signals.
This is like a Vegas magic trick. You just pulled
So-
that off of there. That's
I was wow.
I didn't hear a word he said after that.
So I'm actually designed so that there's little tiny hooks that are just the same diameter as the rods
So
on
you can
the.
snap it right
So
on.
Man.
you can put them now. I thought that the U.S. had a standard of where they had to be over the lane. I ended up talking to a guy at the RPM show. He goes, no, there is no standard for spacing over the highway. It just has to be there to tell the driver that, hey, this is what's coming. So I designed these so that you can move them around a little bit so that you can, whatever how your model is, because we
Right.
all do different highway sizes. And then also like custom. Let's say you're working on Boston and you got the big dig and you got an exit that's got, it's closed for construction. They got that big, huge orange.
Yeah.
I can customize that if you, for some reason you wanted it. And then as people come over and look at your layout, 1 month it's in construction,
Yeah.
another month
Next
it's
month
not.
it's great.
And then you're good. So then thus you're not stuck to a static spot on your layout. You can,
Oh, it fell off. Hold on.
You know, your gas prices are accurate on that sign.
Yeah.
You know, every time we go to the hobby shop, you know, you get the Bachman, let's think, the Bachman Plasticville gas
Yeah, it
station
was
with
like
the
99
decals.
or- yeah. Yeah,
Well,
that's just what they are now.
I've had some people call me or text me or email me and go,
good, I
hey,
got it.
I don't live in California. Can you lower the prices for a little bit for me, please? Because I've had some $3 and $4 prices up on there.
Well, that's the thing I noticed at the show was the gas station sign. Those are what really caught my eye. You got Gulf and Sinclair and Standard, Amoco, whatever, all the different brands.
That's a big thing
And,
that the hobby doesn't have is a wide variety of gas stations.
Right.
You know, you have Al's Victory and a couple other ones.
Well, I noticed here in St. Louis, you got like a YZ. You got
ZX.
ZX. You got a
yeah.
QT.
Yep.
Yeah.
QT,
These,
yep.
so I've already took a picture of those because as soon as I get back, they're going to become a new gas station sign.
Nice.
You know, and I have a lot of people who also.
Yeah, ZX is good. You can make one
Yeah,
of those.
yeah.
Yes. So with this billboard, I mean with the highway cantilevers, you can see in front, you can see there are 3 different models here. You got this large one, the medium one, and then the one over there. The pack, this pack right here, that's for the highway cantilevers. Actually, this pack will make 2 of those, one of these and one of these.
Nice.
And they're also modules. So there's little pegs.
Dude, there's a lot of stuff we could make with that. I'm telling you what.
Sure.
There's so much stuff you could make with that.
Yes.
I mean, that would be a great load on one of my barges over there.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be a really cool load on a train.
That would make a great tower.
Yeah.
I've had people at the show asking if, what do you think? Actually, you have one over there on your layout that's a signal for the railroad.
Yeah, BLMA.
And it's almost the same. These cantilevers here were actually taken off of an Illinois state standard sign for that state to build these cantilevers. So this isn't just made up rods and tubing that I made up to make it look nice. This is actually to the standard and scale that I got from the Illinois Highway Department, that this is how they want their cantilevers built.
That's cool.
Boy,
That is awesome.
they look real.
Yep, and then of course they came out perfect on N scale, so I got N scale. N scale, I get a lot of people calling me from N scale because for N scale people going like, hey, are you going to do this? Because N scale is just dying for new stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my company, I pledged that both S scale and N scale are not going to be left behind. We are going to work, if we make it in HO, if I can make it look good, my name is Scale Signs, it's got to be to that standard. If I can make it look good in N scale, we're gonna sell it in N scale.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm just so glad that you have S scale things available and O scale. There's a lot, Lionel was talking about building a S scale layout and just got a new S scale engine from one of his friends. And these are perfect, you can have a 6-foot diorama, but with these things you can achieve that level of just excellence.
It's that
you're
detail
looking
you didn't
for.
know you needed, and once it's there, it's like, this is what we talked about on the Lionel Strang podcast a few minutes ago. The guy was asking, what drives you or something, or why do you even do this? And it's that gratification. Okay, when you put something like even just any of the Guerrero crossings, the weathered ones, even Mike, the right era for you. I mean,
Yeah.
there it is
Right.
with the bullet holes.
The stops, yeah.
It's gratification to stand there and watch a train run by through a scene that you built yourself, and you don't even have to have any friends to show it off to. Never mind, just put aluminum foil on all the windows, okay? Just in that fact that you've got your gratification and hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
I believe it, and that gives you that. Does that make any sense? Or
absolutely.
It does, because
And-
literally you can just look at this little N scale that I made for the show to make it come down here. I used a little black piece of styrene, painted it black, thinking, hey, some asphalt. I'm like, oh, I actually make N scale barriers. Let's put some barriers on there, make it look more like a highway. And when I was done with this, I was in awe, and that's what makes me drive to do this also. And that's what
Absolutely.
you were just saying. When a modeler makes something, and it's like it turns out like that, there's no way to describe that feeling inside you that you get.
So
All right, he's got a passion. Hold on now. So when you guys do trade shows, you're working them together, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Been to a few.
Now, your better half has got some serious passion here.
He does.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome.
When he got here yesterday, he's like, I'm going to go down there on the edge of the cliff there. Give me a saw. Give me a bow saw with
Bow
his
saw.
exact words. Give me a bow saw. I'll go cut them off the edge there. I was like, no. So
time to
he's
have
a real
fun and
go-getter.
relax.
He's not afraid to just jump into a deal and make it work.
Never.
look at this. I
Never.
mean,
And you are a great part of that because we know how this works. You are, in fact, probably the rock behind it all.
I don't know about that, but
See, she doesn't know that it is absolutely true.
Yes, it is.
If it wasn't,
I know how that works.
I told you I just spent the entire summer in the basement.
She's going to let you shine. She's not going to take none of the
Yeah.
light tonight. But
She let me spend the
we
entire
know
summer in
she's
the
in
basement.
charge of accounting,
He's working
too.
But she was taking care of everything else. She
Right.
had my back. She didn't think so, but she had my back.
Yes.
Right.
In order to put that time
Right.
to build what I had.
well, that's just like when he was deployed with the Army. I was back home taking care of the house, the kids. I had his back, no matter what.
that's great.
It was a long
I
time
may
too.
not share the same passion for trains, model trains. I never have, but that's okay. I support the business.
Well, and
I
you're,
support his
here
passion.
tonight sitting on this show and talking about them.
Yeah,
just
that's
with
support
us.
right there.
That's
Try to put in a word here and there. I don't know a lot about trains, but
But
I'm
she
learning
does
about
love
science.
steam engines.
well. There you go.
She does love steam engines.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
That was a good show last week with the big boy on
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Did you
that
guys
sure
get to
was.
see the big
You know,
boy?
I'm going to tell you, so busy, I end up seeing YouTube videos about the big boy rolling through. I just found out the big boy went through here.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only engine I've ever seen was the Marquette, pure Marquette 1225.
Okay.
Well, I think we were in our 20s back when it came through Lansing, and that's the last time I seen a real steam engine. And then when I'm like, the big boy is the god of steam engines. To see that, you're done. I mean, your bucket list has been checked off when you see a big boy.
No. I have to see it again and again and again now. We experienced it from 30 or 40 foot away or so.
Full steam coming around the curve.
It was mesmerizing.
It was.
It makes me want so much more. Mike and I had the conversation just the other day about, I used, especially me, I used to say, all these old steam heads with their steam engines and only driving the
That's
steam
what you guys said on the
Yeah.
show last week.
Those old steam guys.
But now I
you know
understand.
why.
I mean,
Sure.
those are its own entity, and it's alive and running down that track, and it's just it is definitely a bucket list that has to be continued for me.
I made a big mistake, and I'm not going to make that one again. But that thing gets out. I don't know where it's at. I'm going to drive.
Well, they'll have more
they'll go out
excursions.
again.
Yeah, he brought it to my house.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate you.
That was awesome.
We can't wait to have Ed
We've
on
got
the show.
I've got the November advanced copy of Model Railroader. They saw it first yesterday when it showed up here.
Very nice.
And inside this, actually most of the magazine that month is going to be about a lot of S-scale. And that's been talked about a lot tonight on Lionel String Show tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we did a 2-hour long
Hour and 45 minutes, hour and a half.
long interview with Lionel String. It's
Yep.
called the Modeler's Life Podcast.
Yep.
He was giving us trouble that this isn't a podcast, and I
Yes.
understand. I've had that conversation
This
with a
is
lot of
a-
people since
It's a
2018.
video show and not a podcast.
And we had some B-roll that Mr. Garza had shot for us of us all just chilling, sitting down here.
It was a great conversation. He really got in depth with all of us.
I felt no pressure. I didn't have to edit anything. I wasn't responsible. We didn't have good sound.
Yep.
We fed him good sound. In the November issue of Model Railroader, we have the big boy photograph, because this is an HO scale model with a sliding diorama, and you can watch a What's Neat video on how I did this. We first did it with a DD40. It was Chris Palomares' idea to want a looking out the car window shot, pacing the train. Oh, how exciting. Yeah, we pulled it off, made the steam engine driver spin during the shot, and it came out to be really credible. Chris Palomares was responsible for making sure the smoke happened. And we made the big boy run back in 2017. I was very proud of that fact.
That was a great shoot.
The Christmas issue, we will say the best hobby in the world on the top of it. I think that would be appropriate for the Christmas issue. In all of the issues coming out, we are showing both boxcars. Now, in the past couple of shows now going on 3 or 4 weeks, we've talked about the What's Neat This Week boxcar with the Gateway Arch on it in downtown. Just a beautiful car. Now we've got in person, in the flesh, the What's Neat This Week.
I'm excited about
Or
this
I'd like it
one.
maybe to say someday, maybe What's Neat Transportation. And this paint is still fresh. I shot it outside. I'll show you outdoor photos of it that I shot yesterday. It was a very beautiful day here. Matter of fact, you came here and saw me doing that shoot. It's just realistic looking, more like a prototype with a nice slogan on it, Worldwide Service, because we do reach the world. Worldwide service, right?
Yep.
Worldwide
That's right.
reach.
James Coy watching over there.
So
in,
there's a variety
Australia.
now. 2 What's Neat boxcars, and the website is? What is the website?
It's samsonrchobby.com.
And I've got a QR code that might take you to the website. Let me put it on the video. I tried it last week, but I've never pointed my phone at it to see if it works. But here it is. There it is.
They all work. It's pretty.
That was a fun show that we had a good train running last week, too.
Yeah.
That was good.
I ended up seeing that car yesterday, and I looked at it, and one of the things I really liked on that car, which I thought was more realism, because you can tell you were saying detail, is that the markers where they tagged the What's Neat, serial number. I liked that they made it look like somebody just spray painted and didn't tape it off.
Right.
That was a detail that I saw right there. I'm like, there you go. That's where I see a little more realism, because I'm just thinking there's a guy at the yard. He's got to renumber this car.
Right.
He doesn't want to tape it off. He's like, you know what? Let's just do this. I'll make it as straight as I can.
Yeah.
And when I saw that yesterday, I'm like, oh, I really like that little touch that was on that car.
But that's real life. So
Right.
yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you, Derek Sampson. Just fabulous job. Let's make the model railroaders happy with something new, and it'll be perfect. This is something that I can see people weathering like James Gears said last week on the show, this is something I would put on my layout. You know, the little flashy one's neat. It's a collector's thing. There's nothing bad about it, but this screams what's neat coming down the tracks. This is more incognito, like we're coming in the back door. And that's what friends do, right? We come in the back door. All right, that's my analogy for the night. Mike, what'd you bring tonight?
I brought some Missouri Pacific flatbed trailers that I had been wanting to build for decades, and my buddy John Dietzen that came down with Tom from Michigan, he texted me, I don't know, a couple years ago asking if I had pictures of any of these, and I knew I had one somewhere in the blue like that. And anyway, not too long ago, earlier this year, I found the prototype photo, so I had some of these Lone Star kits that I got over on one of our escapades over to Chuck's Depot in Marion,
down in
Illinois.
Marion,
He's got a
Illinois.
whole bunch of old stuff up there, and I made 4 of them, one CE and I, one Texas Pacific, and 2 Mopacs. But they turned out pretty nice, and when I showed John, he went to work and designed these culverts loads, and there's steel. These are the concrete ones, and then steel ones.
Nice.
And as loads for flatbed trailers or flat cars. And one thing that really blew me away.
Yes. Okay.
was-
there goes our sound.
He wants to scale it down, but
Look at
this
this.
is 3D printed chain. I've never seen that done before, but he was toying around with making chain to tie these down to the trailer, and he's going to try and make it a little bit smaller. But
He made it sound simple. And what do I mean by that? He said that every one of those links had, the support.
Right.
And he said that it was relatively easy to break those off, not too complicated, and boom, there's a chain.
But it's amazing
It's
that
magic.
it prints the
How
links
long does
individually.
that take to print that 4-inch chain?
About 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. That's fast.
Yeah.
James Regier said that these guys took 13 hours.
14 for me. 'cause I'm a
No,
little
it
bit
doesn't
big.
matter.
Girth doesn't matter. It's just the
Change
link.
spools in the middle of yours too.
Right.
Holy cow, I've lost weight. Okay,
But-
girth doesn't take longer.
Okay.
But anyway, if anybody wants any of these pipe loads, you can contact John Dietzen at his email, which I think is John Jon dot Dietzen, which is like Diet Zen at, is it Gmail?
Yeah.
Gmail.com.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
these
say
are
it,
really
say
cool.
it one more time slow,
Yeah.
because then I don't have to put the words underneath.
John Jon, yeah, dot,
DIETZEN
Yeah.
at yahoo.com.
Okay. And that's
oh, it's Yahoo or Gmail? I said
Yahoo.
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 Yahoo, okay, all right, Yahoo.
And that's an
But-
email address?
Yeah, I
Soup
mean,
place
these-
orders? Okay.
I mean, they got the flanges around them and everything, so they would actually interlock if you could take them apart. And I don't see any lines to speak of on there. It's the 3D printing just keeps blowing me away.
Every single week.
Right?
I
There's
mean,
something that comes
The
out.
RPM show everything you got to see. And now guess what? Tonight it happened again.
Yep.
Chain.
Chain. Yeah. And like I
Yeah.
said, the texture on these pipes is almost. I mean, it's almost like injection molded plastic. So
It's-
it's so smooth.
3D printing is absolutely, every day is just a new step for 3D printing. It just keeps getting better and better and
Yep.
better. I mean, we're already up to 12K printers now, and the detail is just absolutely incredible. I mean, just like the
Yeah, let's
billboard
talk about
kits,
this
the billboard kits that I did. I mean, they're see-through walkways. The lights actually come out, so I had to figure out the dimensions so they can go in. So then that way, like that right there has a lighting kit.
Yeah.
This is lit.
Yep.
Right.
That's actually lit. And when I designed this, and this is what's so cool, I mean, it took me 50 tries, but every time I tried it a little bit more. So, I mean, the light comes through, it's got a little hole so that the lighting kit can run the wires there. Then once the wires run through there, they run through a little hole right here through the base. And this one I was able to design so that, you can either put it on the end or you can put it in the middle.
Wow.
And the thing is so now the base also has this slit which lines up with the holes that you ran the wires through. So then you run the wires through the mass, and then you run out the bottom. There's a little hole, and then you would be able to light it up. But the reason why I designed it like this, now LEDs are supposed to last for a while, but let's say an LED burns out,
Right.
Or
And
let's say you accidentally snap this light. This light actually just slides out, and you put a new light in, so you don't lose your model.
Just like the real ones.
Or if the light were to burst out, you just have to take the wires off the bottom. You would just pull that light out, the old wire, and run the new one in, and then you're back to your billboard back the way it's supposed to be. And then of course I made it so that you can just slide the billboards out, so that you can just add a new one in. So then once again, you can change with the times with your billboard. And if you have people come over, one day you got Kentucky Fried Chicken, the next day you got Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden people see that change.
So do you have some of these upstairs either on your TV, on the mantle, or in the curio cabinet?
I keep them close to me on my desk because...
On your desk?
Yeah, because I just keep looking at them and
Yes.
it all. Dietzon's finding out also that the 3D printer, 10 years ago, you'd have to pay $70,000 for tool and die to do this stuff.
Yes.
And you'd have to have a lot of money to build this stuff. And
Yes.
now, this is probably, 30 tries, and I finally got it down to where it works. There's a little more things I'm going to tweak. But you can just build what you can imagine, and then there it
Right.
is. And then because I'm a modeler, all those little things that I just talked about, because I'm the modeler, and I'm trying to make sure I'm
Right,
passing
absolutely.
that on to the modelers.
Well, I noticed that about these highway signs. It's not just a flat sign like a lot of models would be. You've got the I-beams on the back of it, just exactly
it
the
looks
way the real
completely
ones.
prototypical.
Yeah. I definitely
mean,
wanted...
Yeah, so it's a model from all four sides, not just from
You
the
could even
front.
just build a really cool scene. Never mind it all set up. The guys setting it up. The guys with the cones and the truck.
Yeah,
and
right.
Well, I mean,
Neil Maltz with a bunch of
put that on your
flashing
flatbed.
lights.
Yeah.
And they're,
Put it on
they're
the
actually
flatbed.
Yeah,
loading
you
lay it
could
this.
put
down.
a rack.
You just
yeah.
lay it down,
That
and
would be
there's a
fun to
Y
do.
load now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I built, I wanted to make it so it isn't also just for what its purpose was. Like my highway cantilevers I made for
Those are
the
neat.
railroads.
I was checking
Those
those
are
out
very cool.
earlier. You don't need crossing gates for the crossing you did that had those. They didn't have gates,
Right.
actually, just use those, which I think would be a lot simpler.
Yep.
So you just need a flashing mechanism underneath. You got to put LEDs in that, though.
I'm working on the
Run the
LEDs.
wires up.
Yeah.
It's not. It wouldn't be hard to do.
Yeah, this is modeled off of a cantilever that's on Martin Luther
And
King
that's
and
not.
Lansing.
I checked it out. I was kind of getting rough with it over there because I don't want something that I'm just going to break off and cry.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I
rather
just.
break his, huh?
I got more.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about it that way, but.
I got more.
I should let Landon play with it. It would pass. If that passes that, that's how Tonka did it.
Yeah.
That's how Tonka did it. Okay. You were talking about the RPM meet and all the 3D printing. And Mike, when we were at that show, you had kept talking about the fact that it just keeps getting better and better.
Here I am talking about it again tonight.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, like you said, almost every week, it just improves by leaps and bounds. Amazing.
Well, I mean, 10 years ago, we wouldn't have been able to do any of this
Oh,
stuff or
right,
even conceive
right.
it.
Well,
know?
you could do it 10 years ago, but you would have had a lot of styrene
Yeah.
and a lot of gluing and
Well,
a
sure.
lot of jigs
That-
and a lot of
right,
time.
Exactly, exactly. This cuts that process down, and that's what I love about the evolution of the hobby is I don't want to spend that much time cutting stuff and painting stuff. You
Yep.
know, if I can spend X amount of dollars to drop it on the layout and,
And
move
save
on to
all your
something
time
else.
for something
Right,
else.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I also do is that, when you 3D print, you have a lot of bracing that's holding this as it's on the build plate. 99% of all the stuff that comes out with scale signs, it's even when a Walters kit or anybody else's kit, you have to clip it off all the plastic from the injection molding. 99% of all our stuff is already cut off so that you can go straight to building.
Nice.
There's a few things that have the structure still on it because I believe the modeler might want to paint it. So it's going to be a lot easier to have that structure on it for the modeler to paint it and then go from there.
But yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, 3D printing is incredible. I'm in awe, and that's why I said some of this stuff was on my desk, because I just stare at it. 'Cause
Right.
I'm in
I
awe
would too.
at what's possible.
Absolutely.
All right, rock and roll. We don't have to do a show next week. I've got to get the November What's Neat video out. October just got literally edited this morning. I am 5 days late on that again. I'm not sure why this week, but there's always something
We'll
going
make
on.
some excuse out.
Sorry,
Joe.
it's crazy. I just feel like I edit a lot. Hats off to Jennifer Kirk. We love you, baby, and we heard that you are going to scale back a little bit with the show production, that you're going to do the Monday Morning Club, the live show, and there's a lot of editing involved in everything else, and you're going to focus, guys, more on your day jobs and more on life together with each other. And I'm so happy to hear that. Rock and roll.
We
That is
love you
not
guys.
failure. That's great success.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. So we're 100% behind you and would love to have you on the show to hear more about that.
Absolutely.
American Model Builders product line has been purchased by the gentleman by the name of Richard Rands. He has a model company currently, and I totally forgot what the name of it is. I'm embarrassed. But Richard, as soon as he gets back from the narrow gauge convention, which I think was last week, I would love to get him on the show for him to tell us about the fact that American model stuff, builder stuff, will be available. It's
That's
not going to be
great.
going
Good.
away.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really super good news. Other than that, going around the table, have we covered everything tonight?
I do have one more thing that I forgot,
Go ahead, shoot.
and it is starting as soon as this show hits the YouTube. If you put in the discount code What's Neat on my website, scalesigns.com, you will get free shipping on your orders.
Oh, nice.
So, yep, put the What's Neat is the discount code would be What's Neat, and you'll get free shipping on your order.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, scalesigns.com. Check them out. Over 1,400 different signs.
1,400 different packs,
And
yes.
growing every day, especially when it comes to St. Louis.
This is how the RPM meet works. We would have never known you existed, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have been a little bitty ad somewhere in the back of Craftsman, maybe, or Model Railroader.
The St. Louis RPM was life-changing for me. I got to meet you. You have taught me a lot of stuff about the railroad business, and the friends that I've met, and in the exposure. My company is taken off. I've had to hire 2 people,
wow.
yeah. So I mean that makes me feel good because now I'm like helping the economy. I'm helping Americans, and
Well, you're helping us build our model railroads
Yeah.
to a higher standard is
yeah.
what it is.
So that the show really changed a lot, and I'm really glad to be here.
We like it when alpha
Nice.
males show up like yourself because we usually get alpha models.
Yes.
That's how that
Now we got
parallels.
I kind of like that.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
another trademark.
Yeah.
Okay, there was something else I totally wanted to say, but I forgot. I'll remember it during edit.
That's right.
This is the best hobby in the world with some of the best people in it sitting all around me here, right here tonight.
Hallelujah to that.
I know,
Yes.
talk about that bell thing and subscriber, how that works.
Go to YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications. Check us out on our Facebook channel. Go to scalesigns.com and buy 1 of everything, maybe 2 of everything. Depends on how big your layout is. And yeah, I think that's it.
We're going to take the NCE system, and I'm going to give this one to Denise, because we don't have a train running right now. Right before shooting the show, we were about to run something. You're going to use the NCE system,
well,
because it's the most simple system in the world to use.
You didn't
and
hear,
it
but
works.
but John
She's already
demanded
got it.
John demanded a train being ran. So
For the
now,
show?
now, yeah. So we messed that up, but now we can run some trains.
We ran a really good one last week. This is going to be fun. You're going to love this.
Yeah.
All right, guys, rock and roll. Ready, set, go. Let's go run some trains.
See you later.
Okay, we need 45 seconds for you to roll credits, right?
Yep.
We need to all smile and do something cute like a thumbnail.
Yep.
Is sound still there?
Yes.
Yes.
No. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold up our award. Oh, yeah, that's cool. An award. I always wanted an
Hold up
award.
some signs.
Hold up the sign.
It's a big reward.
What you going to hold up, Josh?
This.
I'm going to hold Josh. I'm holding Josh. Ready, set, where is... Oh. All right, just smile at the camera on 3. 1, 2, show teeth. And we have a thumbnail.
All right.
Yay.
Oh, the thumbnail. Yes, that's how you do it. I was wondering how you always got that thumbnail.
Now you know.
I do know. I know now.
Still shot.
We need to do a live show and walk around with a camera and do switching. They were talking about that on the Lionel show tonight. Do we actually switch trains down here? No, we just go circles. But that would be fun to do a live show. You'd have to be really careful what you say, all right? We don't want to slip up any verbiage.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But think about how cool that would be to be able to answer questions live back and forth. I think we've done it 3 times, but Chris
Yeah.
Palomares was in charge.
Yep.
So, we need to get up with him.
You know, I would like to do
Good
a little
job.
tiny short video. Like I brought some signs to put on your bridge because you keep talking about the bridge height.
Oh, you make
Yeah.
those too?
I brought those, and I also brought like a little left turn that's 45 miles an hour, which would go good on that curve. So maybe